In the city, loving life and trying to survive, but there's not enough time, and there's not enough wine in the world. Basically adulting. Basically adulting.
You can't control that.
And also, like, your body is your fucking temple.
Yes.
Like, serve it as your temple. Like, if you don't want something,
say no.
say no. Like, also, like, respect it in the way, like, to be healthy in food, in drinking enough
exercise.
water. Exercise. Which, excuse me.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my god. At least once an episode, I think Luisa comes. But also, like, your mind, basically, like, your mind, your body, your soul, blah, blah, blah. Like, where you surround yourself, who you surround yourself with, where you surround yourself with, like, all of those things, like, people don't think about it very often, I don't think. But I think that should be talked about more. Like, your mind is
self-care, guys,
very important to your well-being.
And
like,
you can also be like, your mind can be very vulnerable, like, because anybody could be at a different state of mind, I don't know, and something could be off that day, and you could wake up one day and just, I sometimes, like, have depression, and, like, you'll wake up one day and it's not, like, you don't feel your best that day. So you could be very vulnerable. So, like, you also have to make sure you take time, like, for yourself, like, whether that's meditating, yoga, going for a run, like, whatever it is that you do, like.
Well, and also, like, just topping on that, like, when you say, like, you don't feel your best at some days, but then you're also, like, you do feel your best, like, as another human being. Like, I don't know what's going on in your head, you know? And so I have to be respectful of, like, the way I treat you and everyone else, because I don't know what you're going through. Yeah. I don't know your battles and what you've been through. And, well, I know, like, your story, but, like, in general, like, majority of the population, I don't know what they go through. So who am I to judge and treat them badly or in a negative way when I don't know their struggles and I don't know their battles?
Yeah, like, you don't know until, like, you've been in someone's shoes.
Yeah. So the moral of this whole podcast is really I think it's important to know that, like, first, loving yourself is, like the
very
most important.
Yeah.
Because you
really give your 100% if you're not 100%.
Yeah. And I don't think that you're 100% all the time. Obviously, that's a very high expectation. It's perfectionism.
Yeah,
which
it's
is
unrealistic.
A non-existent, unrealistic goal. Which, it should be a good goal to, like, try to achieve, but it's you have to also know your limits.
Yeah. And
that's part of, like, evaluating yourself.
Yeah. And know that it's okay, like, I didn't do it today, there's always tomorrow.
Yeah, like, just because you, like, feel bad or, like, made a mistake today, that doesn't mean, like, it's the end of the world. Like, you are going to go to sleep, wake up tomorrow, and you have your whole day. Yeah. To make a difference, to change someone's life, to make someone smile, to make your own self smile. Yeah. Like, I don't know, do a silly dance in the mirror, make a funny voice. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever you need to do to make yourself feel good and feel 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so self-care is very important, obviously.
Yeah, whether that is like, self-care for me means like bubble bath and wine and then falling asleep in the tub.
Oh my god, yeah. Sometimes I think you're gonna drown in the tub.
I don't though.
Well, you haven't yet, but you could.
Well,
if you
let's
just like
knock on
slip
wood.
under. All right. Yeah,
I'm tall
self-care.
enough though that I won't.
Yeah, self-care. For me, probably like, I don't know, like binge watching Criminal Minds and like eating popcorn. And going to bed curled up next to my cats. Like that's like
your happy place.
my happy place. Like
Yeah.
literally I can, if there's a cat next to me, like I could fall asleep. And I mean, I am a dog person too, guys, but I have cats. They're easier to maintain, they're easier to travel, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I love them. I love dogs too, but like when I have like an animal next to me, and maybe one day this will be a man. No, you didn't.
Oh, okay.
I think you did. Just move it.
Okay.
Maybe this one day will be a man next to me that will just like want to cuddle me and like give me comfort. But I just like love just like relaxing and cuddling.
The warmth of an animal is like the best feeling ever.
And I also feel like they know
When you're needed.
when
they're
when
needed.
they are needed and they need to cuddle.
Yeah.
Because literally, so the day that I was feeling so anxious and like stressed, I woke up at 4 a.m. that morning, couldn't sleep. Literally both of the cats. Daisy was underneath the blanket, like like on the back of my knees.
Mm-hmm.
Fiona
Oh, Fiona was in there
got
too?
up there too and laid right here next to me, my head.
Wow.
They were both up there, like they could tell.
She doesn't do that often.
Well, she used to.
Well, not with Daisy.
Well, even with like when I was in Midland, she did, and Daisy would lay by my feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but whenever I moved back to my dad's house, like it was too much. There was too much going on, and so Fiona just stopped playing with me. But yeah, but how crazy is that they like both like could? I feel like they knew that something was.
Well, they
wrong.
do say that animals like can feel your.
Yeah,
Your
and I was just
stress.
like tossing and turning and like couldn't get comfortable and. But yeah, I was just like very comforted by their presence.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a fucking cat lady. But yeah, that's crime shows, popcorn, wine, pizza.
Oh, yes.
Those are all things that like bring me peace.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love face masks too.
Yeah.
I'm not like a huge bubble bath person. Like I do enjoy them. But I feel like once I get in, I get all like hot and sweaty, and I'm like, I'm just sitting in my own gunky.
I enjoy like Lush. Like I go to Lush, and I specifically buy the sex bomb because people are like, the sex bomb. No, it's not for sex. It literally like its description.
It could be though.
It could be if you wanted it to be.
Ew, have you ever had sex in a bath?
No.
I feel like that would be really hard.
I just like
It would be
all I
very
can think about
messy.
is like water like flying everywhere. Yeah.
You'd have to do like a low bath.
Like because you'd have to be on top.
Why?
I mean, I think it'd be really fucking uncomfortable for like you be on bottom and like.
Then you're gonna
I just
drown.
can't think of it. I just can't think of me being on bottom.
Well, yeah. Anyways, God
the
damn it.
sex bomb is actually, I could be wrong, but I know I'm pretty positive because it's the only one I buy. It actually helps you like detoxify and like relax. Like if you've like, let's say you have finals or like it's been a busy day at work or like the kids, whatever, it really does help you like de-stress. Like it takes out all the toxins. Like I remember when I had like finals and like stress at work, I like popped it in and like I felt so like you know how you feel like after you come up from a massage?
Yeah.
That's what I felt like. It felt just so like
I feel like maybe you should make me a bath like Monica made Chandler a bath.
I'll
in
go to Lush
Friends.
for you.
You know how she like made him a bath, like he
Yeah.
was like, oh, I made a bath and it's like not the same as the one that you made.
Oh yeah.
And
I'll make
she
you
like
one.
she like made him a bath and she was like, oh, the blah, blah. And I feel like you should do that for me.
Experience the Lush. Lush has really good.
I have gone
stuff.
to Lush before, like I do like them, but I just
No,
don't go there
but
often.
I mean like to make you like
Okay.
me make you a bath.
Okay.
I'll have to go to Lush so you get the full experience.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
I loved it.
I'll
Okay,
have to find time and.
yeah,
in the
maybe not
next-
like within the next week or so, but okay. So on to the next, loving yourself,
Respect.
respecting yourself foremost. You also like,
Respect others.
well, yeah, because you're not the only one in this fucking universe.
No.
Like, you can respect yourself all fucking day, but unless you're a hermit and you stay at home, like, you gotta, like, go out and socialize with humans, which is sometimes, like, really unfortunate because humans suck sometimes.
Yeah.
That's why I enjoy, like, coming home and, like, cuddling with my babes. And so, second foremost, you gotta respect others.
Yeah.
Your friends, your family,
The planet.
the planet, yeah. Others isn't
Like-
just people.
Pick up your fucking trash. I'm sorry.
That touches home with Louise. Pick up your fucking trash. And oh, you lost me on that one. So yeah, others doesn't just include people. Like, respect your things. My dad would love me to say that because, like, you buy things, you want things, but if
Take
you
care
don't
of
fucking
them.
respect them and take care of them, like, why do you even have them?
Yeah.
I mean, just everything in general around you, surrounding you, like, fucking take care of it. Like, do your maintenance, do your cleaning, do everything. Like,
clean your room.
yeah, Louisa, clean your room.
I cleaned my room. It's clean.
Did you hear that, Mom? She cleaned her room.
I cleaned my room, Mom.
That's like a very, like,
Well, I cleaned it yesterday.
oh, okay. Well, when was the last time you cleaned it?
When we moved in.
6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost, yeah.
That's okay. I'm not judging. I can't judge you. So yeah, I guess on that note, like, on respecting others, like, a major thing that's, like, going on right now is, like, respecting your elders and, like, your the authority figures.
Yeah.
Because that, I feel, I was raised to always respect my elders and, like, never raise my voice. Like, they're always right. Don't ever question them. But sometimes, like, they could use
could be
that
wrong.
power to take advantage. Or, Luisa and I just watched this
Docuseries.
documentary on Netflix. What was it called?
It's called When They See Us.
Oh yeah.
It's about the Central Park 5 back in like 91, 89.
89. Yeah. Oh my god, if y'all have not seen it, please
It's very
please pause this pod or
yeah.
please pause it, go watch it,
and come back.
We're
Yeah.
not gonna, like,
we don't
go-
want to spoil anything for y'all. So like spoiler alert if you haven't watched it.
We're not going to go into, like, every single detail, but I do want to talk about just the way, like, oh my gosh, like, it, like, made my heart hurt. Just, okay, actually, before I even start talking, will you, like, give them some background of, like, what it's about?
Yeah.
Because
So even if you haven't seen the documentary, this is like a very big news story.
it's based on a true story.
It is.
Like, it actually happened
Yes.
in real life back in 1989.
89, yeah.
Yeah.
So backstory is these 5 boys are pretty much charged with attempted. I don't know all the charges. There's many, but it's like attempted murder, sexual assault, sexual abuse, rape, and on this woman who was raped. But it wasn't. I mean, these kids, they weren't
the crime
even.
did actually happen.
The crime did happen, but it was put on the wrong people. And so these kids were, I mean, guys, I mean, these kids were in middle school.
13 to 16 years old.
The oldest was 16.
Yeah.
And they're out having fun on what may be like a Friday night. I don't know. They don't really go into the specifics of like what day of the week it was. But you guys, I mean, they're out having fun with their friends.
Yeah.
And a little like side note, they're all Black or Hispanic. Mm-hmm. And so they're all having fun. Mind you, they don't all know each other. Only 2 of them are friends.
Yeah. So basically, they're with there's like this huge group of friends like in the park. The cops end up breaking up this group. Some of them, everyone as a kid runs from the cops. Like when you see a cop as a kid, like if you think you're doing something bad, like,
yeah.
I mean, at high school parties, like,
you fucking
everyone
run.
would
Yeah.
run. You know, like, it's just like a human
Even
nature.
if you're not doing anything wrong, like you just
right.
get fidgety.
It's just like a
an
human,
instinct.
Yeah, it's a human instinct.
It's your fight or flight, guys.
And they're fucking flighting. Like they're leaving. They're out
yeah,
of
and they're all running, and one of them does get hit. I'm sorry.
Oh
One of them does get hit by a cop's helmet in the face.
Not just hit, like doesn't like run into the helmet.
Like he gets
pinned down.
The cop takes his helmet off, smashes it into his face, and he's maybe 12.
13. Yeah.
12 or 13, yeah.
One of those.
So he's taken into custody. 2 other boys are also taken into custody. Mind you guys, the law is if you are under 18, you cannot be
Questioned without an
adult or an attorney.
Yeah.
Like whatever, you cannot, because you're a minor.
Yeah. Let's pause on the story.
Yeah.
But I think like going into that, like these kids, like they're brought in for questioning, blah blah blah.
They don't even know why they're being brought in for questioning to
Right.
begin with.
They're just like, oh, we saw the cops, we ran, like, oh, we probably shouldn't have ran, blah blah blah. And so then these cops are like out trying to find the people that raped
The
this
person who
woman,
did this, yeah.
which is fine. I mean, they're doing their job.
They're doing their job.
However, they're taking advantage of their power with these kids.
Yeah.
And they're not giving them their rights to call their parents, do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And going off of that note, like, as children, we're taught to respect police.
Listen to what they say, like, do as they say.
Don't ask questions.
Yeah. And, I mean, we were talking about this earlier, but it's like, I mean, I got pulled over for the first time, like, a couple months ago, but I was able to go with a warning, but it's like, even as an adult, I am so vulnerable. Mm-hmm. I will do as the cop tells me. Like, if the cop tells me to get out of my car, I'm getting out of my car, because I've always been told, like, when you get pulled over, you listen to what he tells you. If he tells you to get, you do as he says.
Yeah, otherwise it just makes matters worse.
Yes. And
which,
so
in this case,
these kids were taken advantage of because they're children, they're scared, they don't know what's going on. And
honestly, like, they believed, because the police told them, that if they were to just agree with what they were telling them that they did, basically manipulating.
If they were to lie.
Yeah, they were manipulating what they said, and they would get to go home if they just corroborated what they were saying.
If they just gave a statement, signed it and everything,
blah blah blah. So yeah, as a 12-year-old kid, scared out of my ass, probably about to shit my pants, and also they were aggressive and abusive to these
they weren't
kids.
given food, water, like allowed to go to the bathroom, nothing
for over 72 hours.
Yeah.
No parents were called, nothing.
Mm-mm. And then they would, because these are, I mean, guys, this is like 89. The Civil Rights Act was just passed in like 69 maybe. 63. Somewhere in the 60s. Someone will correct me. It's not even like 20 years?
Yeah.
And there's, especially like in New York, like, I mean, they were from Harlem, and like, sadly, Harlem has a really bad rep, but a lot of these kids came from homes that, their parents wanted better for them. And the parents were, I think one of the parents was manipulated into like, tell your son to do as we say, or we're going to tell your boss about your record and your felony and stuff. And it's like, you can't use that against somebody. Like, that's not lawful. And if I'm not wrong, like, it's obstruction of justice. Like, you're using your power
the whole case was like, none of this should have even like happened,
guys. Like,
oh my
all
God.
the evidence pointed to.
Don't tell them.
Because you'll find out. We're just like,
we're
giving you like a little.
We're giving you a slice of it, but like, we're really honing on the fact that these kids were taught as children,
like
everyone is supposed to, like, in school and at home, like, to trust the police. And like, they're telling you that you're gonna get to go home if you just do what they say. And they did that, and they fucking got screwed over.
They didn't get to go home, bottom line. No, they didn't. And
so sometimes, like, I mean, I love this, like, knowledge is power. And I mean, as a 12-year-old or however old they were, like, it's hard to, like, know what your rights are, obviously. But that's why, like, as long, like, I mean, when I'm a parent, I'm going to tell my kids, like, if you get pulled over by the police, don't say anything until you, like, and only, like, tell them to call me or call your dad or whatever. And, like,
or anything, like, if the police stops you because you're just walking, because, I mean, where we grew up, like, there's high school, and then everybody would always walk to Sonic. Like, if you get, like, stopped by a cop, like, I mean, I think they say, like, ask, like, may I ask what this is regarding, or, like, why am I being stopped? And I mean, especially in times now, like, record. I was, my mom, like, there was a cop that came because they complained my mom was, like, speeding or something in the neighborhood, and she wasn't, and I was there as, like, mediator, and the cop was really cool, and he's like, look, the only thing I can tell you, he's like, I don't know the story, I was just called in, he's like, this isn't even my, like, area, he's like, but the only thing I can tell you is, like, record, he's like, record what's happening, because that's gonna be, like, your evidence, and it's gonna be their word over, or your word over theirs. And so, like, nowadays, like, guys, like that's what you have to do, sadly. Like that's the times we live in. And you know, like, I don't want to bash all cops. Like, there are some good cops out there.
But also, like, do it in a respectful way. Like, I've also, like, seen, you know, you've seen videos of, like, people being, like, assholes.
No. Like, I would record,
and, like,
and starting a fight.
Jerks, you know, like, oh, I'm not doing anything, and you're doing. It's like, you can still be, like, just fucking have it on your dashboard and say, like, I am recording this conversation. Like, can you please tell? Like, you can still be very respectful. I don't know. I just, like, we saw this documentary, and it literally, like, shook us to our core. Made us cry. Like, if you haven't seen it, like, you need to go see it. Oh my God,
like, it's just really sad because it's like, I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
But it's like, as an adult, like, when you get pulled over, it makes you so nervous, even if it's maybe one of your brake lights is out or, like, something stupid. But, like, can you imagine, like, a child, like, that's just happens to be in Central Park, and Central Park is, like, one of the fucking biggest, it has its own fucking zoo.
Literally, I don't even know, like, how they ended up pulling these 5 kids together. They were on some sort of list, but, like, they were just in the park at the same time.
They just happened to be,
this crime had been committed, and not even in the same part of the park. Not
even in the same area, and the poor kids didn't even know the park to begin with.
Right. So,
it's a good documentary, and, like, if you guys have kids or whatever, like, don't, like, just, it's sad that we have to live in in a world
Whoa.
in a world where you kind of have to have this conversation with your kids.
And I think too, like, that was back then, but I think it was probably worse back then.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that some of this stuff still happens, and people still take advantage of the power that they have and the positions that they have, and being a part of society, like, as a regular person,
civilian.
Like, I think it's very important that you know your rights and, like, know who you can talk to and, like, who you can count on, and, like, just be. But as long as you are doing it in a polite and collective way, like, nothing can come back on you to harnish whatever situation you're in, you know.
Just remember, like, if they don't read you your Miranda rights, your arrest doesn't count.
It's not valid.
If you're not offered an attorney, I mean, that's also, like, cops have all these rules that they have to follow, because if they don't read your Mirandas, if they don't offer you an attorney, like, that falls back on them on trying to, like, mess with your case, and that doesn't look good on them either.
Now it's like that because of shit like this that happened back then. So now hopefully it's a little better. Yeah. But we don't know. I don't necessarily know. I'm just going off of what I've watched. What we watched on Netflix and what I felt in my heart. And I know it wasn't right. And I know I don't ever want that to happen again to anyone. And, like, just watching these boys, like, they were being respectful. They were, like, they just didn't know, like, what was going on and, like, what they could do to, like, all they needed to do is, like, I'm not talking, like, until my mom's here. Yeah. Or, you know, like, but they didn't know. They wanted to go home. The cops were, like, abusing them. And, I mean, I don't know, like,
there's actually, like, a news article. You can find it. It's, like, Good Housekeeping or whatever. And they go over, like, the case itself. And one of the boys says you could actually hear, like through the walls, like, next door, like, the cops, like, beating one of the other boys and, like, yelling at them. And then one of the cops would come into his interrogation room and be like, "You're next." Like, if you don't say anything. And that's kind of sad, because as a child, I think middle schoolers are still children. You're like, okay, well, I guess I have to do what they tell me, or else they're gonna beat me.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, y'all need to go watch the documentary. What's it called?
It's called When They See Us,
and it's on Netflix.
There's also they also have other movies, or another documentary called The Central Park 5, because that's what they're called. Yeah. So you can also look that up. But the one on Netflix is like four episodes called When They See Us, and it's it gives you an insight on just how sometimes, like, the justice system can be very corrupt. Mm-hmm. Which sucks, because, what's the word I'm looking for? Our laws were made to innocent until proven guilty, because back in England, when we were still under the king or whoever, it was you were guilty as fuck, like, no matter what. So that's why we took after the Greek law, innocent until proven guilty. So
yeah, which didn't happen in that case. So yeah, I just am hopeful that, us as a generation, like, can bring more positivity into the justice system, and, like, everything, like, just into awareness, the world. Like, just into everyday life, and, like, just if we're kind to one another, like, obviously the person that did this crime wasn't kind to to the woman who was assaulted. Yeah. And it's like, if And I get that there's people that have fucked up brains and like all
Yeah.
this shit, but that's another topic. But I feel like I don't know. There's like so much like that goes into like being healthy and loving
and respecting like people of authority, like,
yeah.
and it's kind of it's scary because it's like I'm supposed to trust this office, like these kids trusted these officers to
Like,
keep their
they had their best interest at
Yeah.
heart. Yeah.
and
they
they
didn't at all.
didn't, and it
But
sucks.
I just feel, oh, cheers myself. I just feel like if I'm doing my part and I'm being kind to myself and to everyone that I come in contact with, like, hopefully, like, I'm making a difference in someone else's day to choose to make a difference in someone else's day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm kind to the next door neighbor, like, maybe they'll be kind to their
Paying
next
it
door
forward,
neighbor.
yeah.
You know, like, yeah,
Pay it
exactly.
forward.
Pay it forward to
Yeah.
them.
It's I've had that happen back when I still worked at daycare.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to Starbucks before work, and it was like a bunch of teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, it was a huge line, and this guy was like, I'm paying y'all's orders, because we were all running late. And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, I got y'all, like, order what you want. And it leaves you with such a good feeling. It's like, it's like, oh, now I want to go do that for someone else, because they could be having a bad day, and I want to make it better.
It goes back to not knowing what other people are going through, not knowing what other people have been through, and if you can just like make their day just a tad bit easier, or make them smile, make them feel wanted,
them laugh,
make them feel like they're here for a purpose, because they are. Everyone's on this earth for a purpose.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe in reincarnation. I know it's I believe that like we're here to do something on this earth, and that if we don't complete it, like we reincarnate again until we've completed that mission.
All right. Well,
I know, guys.
Fucking beliefs. So anyways, we're gonna take off there, but we just want to leave you guys with a note, like, be kind to one another, like Ellen DeGeneres says.
Yes.
Like, be kind to one another.
Shout out.
Show up for the people that you love.
Yeah,
like,
good karma, guys.
Yeah. Oh my God, karma's a fucking bitch.
Yes, my mom
she does
always
come back around.
Yes, she does.
She does not, like, hell hath no fury. Like,
oh no,
she brings the fucking fire.
As another, I'll leave you all with this wisdom my mother has also said: don't wish upon others what you don't want to happen to yourself. It's very good. Like, don't put something out in the universe. Like, I get that when you're in road rage, or like you're mad at someone or whatever, like you're like, oh, I hope, like, don't hope anything, because my mama has always said, like, when you wish something upon someone else, it's going to come back. It's like when you point a finger at someone, you're pointing through yourself. So.
Yeah.
So words of wisdom from my mother, Maria.
All right, y'all. Well, be kind to one another and be kind to yourself.
Love yourself. Pay it forward. Respect one another, the earth.
Are you giving them cliff notes of what they just listened to?
Yeah. They could be like preaching us, like, yes, get it.
Hallelujah.
Both hands in the air, like, yes.
Y'all, we've almost finished this Spanish wine. That's why we've got a little cuckoo.
Yes.
This dark red 2017.
But
yeah. So go watch the Netflix series.
yes, if you haven't watched it,
I want to rewatch it.
I don't think my heart can handle that.
I want to rewatch it.
We should probably watch just a documentary, like the normal one.
Oh,
the Central Park 5.
Yeah. Okay, we can do that. Okay. Well, y'all have a blessed day. Whenever day you're listening to us.
Yeah, whether
morning
you're
or
driving,
night.
whatever.
And make sure to tune in wherever you're listening.
Yeah.
Wherever you listen
Apple,
to your podcast.
Spotify, wherever. Google Podcasts.
Yeah. And make sure to subscribe That way you get all the updates.
And leave us like a little review, guys.
Yeah. Well, if they subscribe, they
can
get
also
all
leave
the
us.
I know, but if they subscribe, they get notifications on when we upload a new podcast.
Yes, please do.
And then after you listen to the new podcast, like obviously,
leave us a little review,
5-star review, because we're so funny and give very insightful information.
And if you want to hear more about us, you can also follow us on Instagram at Basically Adulting 24/7.
Yeah, and if you want to actually get to know like us as people on a personal level, that's stuff that we don't post on the podcast Instagram, you can follow me at Erin Waddell, ErinWaddell.
And you can follow me at Miss Luisa Diaz, MSLuisa Diaz. We'll also be plugging those in the description in case you didn't catch them.
In case you're driving or something.
Yeah, don't get on your phone and drive, guys.
We're not that important, guys. You can wait until you get to a stoplight.
Yes.
All right, y'all have a blessed day. Thanks for listening. We will catch you next time on
Basically Adulting. Stay young, y'all.
Hey friends, it's Erin Waddell
and Luisa Diaz, and welcome back to Basically Adulting.
All right, well, let's start off with our wine of the night. What do we got, Luisa?
Tonight's wine is 19 Crimes, the Banished wine.
Ooh. We have not tried this one yet.
No, we have not.
What kind is it?
It just says a dark red, y'all. It doesn't really...
It's a mystery.
It's Australian, so... From down under.
Oh, yeah. That's
like pour.
The best sound at the end of the day. Oh, I gotta pour my own in this shit? Oh. It's fine. I can pour my own wine. Ooh.
Damn, give me some more.
I like to pour my glass heavy, I guess. And I'm doing it with my left hand. Okay. Whoops. Spilled a little bit.
All right.
Okay, let's taste it. Let's cheers.
Oh, yeah. Cheers.
Yay.
That's very smooth.
Sweeter than normal. Well, like normal.
From
like what we normally drink, I guess. Yummy, though.
I bet it's just like a mix of their leftover wines.
The shit wine.
Well, that'd be sangria then.
No, sangria has fruit in it.
Yeah, but sangria, like, you make it with leftover wine.
I know, and then they put fruit in it.
They put fruit in it. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's sangria without the fruit.
So it's not sangria.
No, I never said it's.
You did
sangria.
say it's sangria.
I said it's similar, similar to sangria.
Oh my god.
It's not sangria, guys. Don't worry.
Okay, y'all want to hear this guy's story? Okay, let's see.
Oh wait, we should probably. If y'all don't know what 19 Crimes is, it's a really good wine. And on their cork, it has like a crime for like
Isn't there like 19 different types of wine?
The 12th crime that was on the cork was bigamy. And for y'all that don't know, bigamy is the crime is getting married while you're fucking already married. And you don't fucking do that.
Yeah, that sounds disgusting. So this guy did that. And he was sentenced to live in Australia rather than death. So apparently, it's really fucking bad in Australia. I guess they have big fucking spiders and
snakes,
gnarly snakes and shrimp on the Barbie and whatever. But he actually escaped from prison. I'm reading this off of the bottle just so you guys know I'm not just making this shit up. But he escaped from prison in 1876 and fled to New York, where he spent his remaining years in the U.S. And then he died in 1921. So it seems like he had a pretty good life.
He had a pretty good life here in the States.
And in Australia, if he could escape prison, he must have been a smart fella.
Could you imagine like that, like... Because, I mean, back in the day, like, the only transportation was boats.
True.
Imagine that boat trip, and a lot of people would get sick.
And he survived. And lived another 50 years.
Damn. Hey, when you want something, you fucking go for it.
Way to go. What's your name? Way to go, James McNally Wilson. You're on the bottle of a wine now. You're famous. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's the wine we're drinking. It's really good. If you haven't tried it, it's called Banished by 19 Crimes.
It's just a red wine, guys. It's very smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's what wine connoisseurs say.
I feel like that's the only word you know how to describe wine.
Well, because when growing up, my parents were like, when, they'd go out for dinner and they'd come and like, oh, would you like to taste the bottle before, or, whatever they fucking say. And, my dad would be like, oh, it's very smooth, or like, or they say it's very dry, and this one's not a dry one.
It's got a little bit of a dryness after taste. Yeah.
I don't
taste again.
Oh yeah, you're right. There's a little
it's
bit
like at the very, very end.
Yeah,
but going down.
It's like an
good.
afterthought.
Yeah. This episode, we really wanted to just talk about respect in general.
R.E.S.P.E.C.T. Find out what that means to me. R.E.S.P.E.C.T. That's it. That's all I know.
Take care of... There's other letters like E.C.P. or I don't know. I feel like as an adult, respect is something...
I think it's a huge...
that is necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think so. It's a big thing.
And I feel like it's more of a taught attribute. Like you don't know... Well, I mean, it's also kind of common sense as well. But it's easy to pick up on if you have seen it your whole life, I guess.
Yeah, and if it's like something that your parents and like your teachers and,
have kind of like instilled in you. I just think like this generation is kind of rude, a little entitled, and just like not respectful of other people, and just in general. I feel like everyone these days, not just this generation or the millennials,
just like everybody.
I think everyone in general, in this day and age, is just very self-centered in themselves, and like, especially with social media. Oh my God, we could go into this. Like, I want to talk about like bullying right now, and like
there's so much. Like, guys, like I think the biggest thing, it's probably something your mom, anybody, like you're probably taught in school, like think before you say. It is common sense.
Yeah.
Like if you're thinking it and the little voice in your head's like, don't say it, don't fucking say it.
I could go on a whole nother
hour
lane of what we are not even planning on talking about right now on that social media subject.
Yeah.
This episode, we're just going to be like talking about loving yourself, respecting yourself,
respecting others,
the people around you. At the end of the day, like if you don't love yourself, like you don't really have anything.
Yeah.
Like your soul is empty.
Yeah.
I think respecting yourself in general is probably one of the hardest things to do. Like if you don't know how to do it, or if you've like never done it before, or like you're just kind of like watching other people and like respect them like to a certain level, and like you want to be like them or be accepted by them, be involved in their group, but you haven't really like taken the time to like evaluate yourself and like even think if you like want to be in that group or want to be like that person.
Yeah.
Because I feel like as a society, we get very caught up in being accepted, and sometimes it's not always okay. Like it's not the best thing to be accepted by the wrong, like you don't want to be accepted by the wrong people. You have to respect your worth and your value on this earth.
Yeah.
Ooh, that rhymed.
Yeah, my mom always says like...
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
That could be like a little hashtag. Respect
your value and your worth.
And your worth.
On this earth.
Yes. And no... I don't remember what I said, but yeah, it was something to that effect.
It was good though.
I'll have to go back and replay it and listen to it.
On repeat.
On repeat, for sure.
But no, yeah, my mom always says, like, respect yourself, like, take care, like, there's only one you.
Yeah.
You know, and you represent yourself, and you want to make sure, like, you're representing the best you out there.
I love that.
Right?
I do. I love that so much.
My mom's got wisdom.
She really does. She needs to come and share that wisdom with us.
I know. She really does want to come on.
Oh, I would love to have her on. That would be so fucking fun. She would be talking Spanish. I don't even know.
Yes.
But you know what? Whatevs.
Yeah. That's moms for you.
Yeah. Oh, man, I was going to say something. Oh, when you said, like, you're your own, like, you, like, there's no one else like you. You basically are, like, branding yourself.
Yeah.
And, like, as a marketing major connoisseur, whatever you want to call it, like, I love that because it's, like, that's really, like, it. You really have to brand yourself to, like, stand out. And, like, if you come across as, like, a shitty person, like, obviously no one's gonna do business with you.
Yeah.
But you can't not come across as a shitty, negative person if you feel negative and shitty about yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you come across the way that you feel about yourself.
Yeah. And then you will attract the wrong people.
Exactly. That, whether that's, like, in a friend group or, like,
a
you're
relationship.
dating,
Yeah.
even, like, family members, like, toxic family members. Like, I know, like, your situation, you kind of do.
I do. I speak from experience.
Yeah.
You just, my speech teacher last week, he's more of, like, I thought of him more of as, like, a motivational person, but he said it, like, perfectly. He's like, yeah, you can cut out, like, toxic friends from your life, but family is, like, totally different. He's like, you just have to keep them in a corner.
Yeah.
And feed them with, because they just want the silver spoon in their mouth, and
Yeah.
they're like, for holidays, you just go and hey, how are you? Good. Be the bigger person.
Just be cordial.
Yeah, because then it's like they can't say anything to you because you are nice.
Yeah.
And I'm always the bigger person, always.
Yeah.
And my best friend, like, it drives her nuts, but it's like, I am not going to be able to change that person. I can only kill them with kindness.
I don't think that you'd want to cut them out of your life since they are family.
Yeah. And there's no point in being rude to them either.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say to ever be rude to them. I would say either do what you're doing, which is killing them with kindness and being cordial, or cut them out and
only see them on holidays.
Yeah. Or,
like, it's tough. Like, I get it. Like, this past Christmas, like, I felt the looks, and I had to be nice, and
yeah,
it's not easy because, like, inside I'm, like, itching to get out.
You just have to show up and put a smile on your
Yeah.
face. Where I was going with that whole branding thing, I was going with, like, your smile is, like, your brand. If you don't have a smile on your face, like, I know, like, they say fake it till you make it, but, like, that's the fucking truth.
Yeah.
Honestly. In my opinion. Like, even, like, if you don't feel good or, like, you're in a bad mood, like, you portray that to other people. Like, and if you're in a business where you have to talk to people every day.
Yeah. Like, they'll, like, it's a vibe. Like, it's an aura thing. Like, you can just instantly, like, you feel it, and it probably makes customers or, like, other people uncomfortable because it's like, I can feel your negativity from walking in the door. It's like when you walk into the store and somebody does it, like a fast food restaurant, for example, and they don't want to fucking serve you.
Yeah, and they're just, like, walking slow, slumped over. Yesterday, actually, at work, like, before I had that meeting with my boss, I was, like, super nervous, really anxious, very, like, not myself because I was nervous about this meeting that I was going to have with my boss. And then this guy, like, instant messaged me over the computer or whatever. He's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just, like, got this meeting." And then afterwards, the meeting was that I was, like, putting my 2 weeks in. And so after the meeting, like, I was pumped because like I thought, you just think like the worst thing could possibly happen. Like, I don't know, like she was going to jump over the desk and like strangle me, or I don't know. My head was like going, like spinning. And so I was like so nervous. Like my hands were shaking. Like I was like eating all the snacks that I could find. So you know how last week I was on the juice cleanse?
Yeah.
So one of those days, I think it was Thursday, on the last day of my juice cleanse, like the higher up people came around like with popcorn for some reason. And I was like, God damn it, like, you know how much I love popcorn. And I was like, God damn it, I can't eat the popcorn. And then I wasn't there on Friday. And then I worked from home on Monday. And so I ate this fucking stale popcorn. That's how nervous I was.
Oh my God.
I was so nervous. Like I just like ate the whole bag of stale popcorn.
Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't even good. But I was just like, I just had to like be doing, I don't know. Anyways, I don't even know. Oh, so my point of that story was that my coworker literally just like walked by my desk and was like, something's wrong with her. Mm-hmm. And then like today he was like, you seem like you're in a very much happier mood. And I was like, yep, I am, because I only got 2 more weeks of this place. But honestly, like being like surrounding yourself in like a positive place. So that too, like I don't enjoy working at the place that I was working at, the exchange. And so I just kind of felt like I had reached my peak and my abilities were like not being taken advantage of. Like I had hit my ceiling.
Right.
And so I was just like not excited to go to work every day, not wanting to be there. And so like my attitude about going into work was like meh.
Right.
And like people could tell that.
Yeah.
And so it's all about like surrounding yourself with positivity.
Yeah. It's like,
friendships.
Guys, like when you go into work, leave what's going on at home. When you leave work, leave whatever, however stressful it is, leave it at work. Like it literally brings it. You can do nothing about it by bringing your work home, unless you work from home. I don't know what to tell you.
But like even in your dating life, like your relationships and stuff, like you need to know what you want and what you feel comfortable with.
Like don't do something just because like you're like, oh, this is
your friend's doing it,
or like it's gonna keep the guy's attention. Like if the guy doesn't like you, like he fucking doesn't like you, move on. Like there's something so much better out there.
Yeah. What book? The Rules.
The Rules.
So y'all, if you have not read this book and you're single,
it's pretty insightful.
Woman, it's probably just for women, and
it's just for women, yeah.
But a guy could read it and be like, oh, that's why she's not texting me back.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's for everyone, mostly probably for women, but it's very like helpful because there's this one part in it that says, do not make the first move. Don't flirt with him. Don't make eye contact with him. If he wants to talk to you, if he wants to text you, if he wants to dance with you,
he will come to you.
Will.
They really do talk about how like no matter what guys say that like, oh yeah, I like the girls to chase. No. They really make it very like what's the word I'm looking for? They like really clarify, or like I don't fucking know what I'm saying. But they really emphasize on that guys love the fucking chase. They love to chase.
Yeah.
They're fucking cavemen. They fucking love it.
Tammy would literally have a shit ton of advice for she would have a shit ton of stuff to add on to this. We can go into that book and the rules and the dating shit again. Because that, like, oh man. Yeah. She's like the best.
She's a really
chaser.
Yeah.
Or she's not the chaser, she's the chasee.
Yeah.
She's like, no, fuck it. Like, don't respond.
She's really
and I'm like,
good.
I feel like I have to respond, and she's like, don't do it. And you know what? They always fucking come back.
Yeah.
They fucking do.
Yeah.
It's like a gift that she has, honestly.
Yeah, she does.
I'm so impressed every time. And like, okay, so Tammy is a fucking miracle worker. You want to know how?
How?
She fucking got on Bumble and literally had a date the same night that she like signed up.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, fucking, she needs to give us all fucking dating classes. You and I are over here, like, still talking to the guy.
What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay,
oh, how was your day? Oh, my day was great.
Yeah, but like, you don't get to know how my day was unless you take me out to fucking dinner.
Which is also like a thing they talk about in the rules.
Yeah.
They're like, don't, like, drop them if they don't ask you out within, like, the first 3 days of messaging or something like that.
I know.
We're over here on week 2.
You guys are so pretty. It's like, oh, thanks. Like, literally all they got to do is compliment me, and I'm like,
yeah, they're like,
thanks.
oh, you're so stunning. It's like, oh, thank you.
You're like, I already know this, but it's nice.
Keep coming.
The compliments are nice. That makes it sound so fucking bad.
I know.
Damn it.
Anyways, guys.
We'll talk about the dating and get Tammy on here and give you guys some dating advice from her because she's killing the game.
Yeah.
She probably doesn't think she's killing the game, but from our
perspective, she is.
is.
But that goes back. Let's go back to
Okay.
don't stay with, or like, don't do anything to please a guy just because you really like him and like whatever, like.
Yeah. Be you and be independent.
Yeah, like fuck him. Like if he doesn't
shoes,
text you, like whatever.
Buy the
You're an independent woman.
Wear their shoes and fuck him. If he's an asshole.
Yeah. Because I sometimes like think, I'm like, how many, I mean, I'm talking to other guys, but it's like,
Okay, so I saw this meme the other day and it goes, good morning. And remember, he's texting other bitches, so go enjoy your summer, sis.
That's right.
So don't fucking worry about...
Don't sit at your phone and like, why isn't he texting me back?
Yeah, I've fucking been there. And it hurts, and it's fucking hard.
It's very stressful. Like, go out and like leave your phone on charge or whatever.
Or, y'all, like, go find someone else to talk to.
Yeah.
Like, even if... And this might not be very good advice, but even if you just sign up for Bumble just to fucking swipe, it's fun.
It's a very confidence booster.
Yeah, it's fun, and it gets your mind off of the person that you're thinking
and who knows,
about.
you might meet a great guy on there.
Yeah, you don't even have to talk to them if you don't want to.
Yeah, because girls make the first move, which totally contradicts what we're preaching on about the rules.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, at this point in our lives, I'm not really looking for like a relationship, and I feel like the rules are for like if you want a relationship.
Yeah, they make that very clear too. In like the first chapter, they're like, if you're not on here for long term, then don't. Like the rules are not going to work for you.
Yeah, because if you're just going to break the rules, they're not going to work.
Yeah.
So.
But they're very strict, and apparently like other women like that are like, oh, I did follow the rules the first time, but the second time, now I'm engaged. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I want a relationship, maybe I'll fucking follow the rules. But now I'm going to be a rebel and do what I want.
Yeah, I'm young.
Yeah, you're 23. You still have your whole life.
I mean, technically 7 years, but yes.
You're going to die at 30 or something?
No, I cannot see myself being single at 30. Well, I'm going to be a spinster.
Okay, bitch. It could happen. So
I don't want to be a spinster.
Neither do I, but it could fucking happen. You just
we'll be
have to
spinsters together.
Yes.
But don't be afraid to speak your feelings, because I feel like another thing us girls do is like, I feel bad. It's like, don't fucking feel bad.
Yeah, like if you don't like someone, I'm really bad about this. I just like won't text them back.
You ghost them.
Yeah.
I think nowadays we all do that because.
I know, and I think that it's probably not the best thing. I don't think that I've already said this, and I don't think it's the most responsible and nice thing to do. Like, I could really just be like, hey, not interested. Thanks for the offer. And I probably should do that.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's a live and you learn kind of thing, and I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I think we all are.
So, but I do think that that's the most respectful thing to do.
Yeah.
However, sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And, like, you don't want to, like, waste your time. But, I mean, a text message really, like, takes, like, 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So, that's something that I will work on. And maybe, like, 6 months from now, we'll see how I'm doing.
Yeah.
In that department.
Yeah. Check back on us, guys.
Yeah. But, like, okay, so respecting yourself while dating, and then I mean, obviously respecting others.
Yeah.
Like, respecting, I mean, that's the whole thing that
Everybody.
I just said. Like, with even respecting, giving, like, a respectful decline.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like, respecting their feelings, because who knows, like, they might be super into you and you're not. And then if you
don't want to lead them on.
Yeah. Which is just rude.
It is. Like, think about, like, I always have to think, like, what if it happened to me? Like, yeah. I'm really into this person, and then, like,
they just stop talking to you?
Yeah. That's happened to me before,
that's happened, and it does suck.
It does.
Yeah, I was talking to this guy, PBR.
Oh, yeah.
And we were, like, talking, hanging out, having a good time. He dropped me off at, like, 5 in the morning, y'all. He stayed the night at my house, dropped me and my friend off at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, went to go pick her up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Took us to the airport. Texted me and was like, have a good trip. See you when you get back. Blah, blah, blah. That was in fucking May. And it's almost July.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I almost forgot about
Fuck that guy. Haven't seen him since. Bye.
Yeah.
These shoes on my feet, I bought them.
No, that guy that I was dating in November, that after I was like, I was sworn off men.
Yeah.
Like, we had a good time. Everything was going great. And we actually had another date planned when he posted that stuff on Snapchat. He literally, I'm not even kidding y'all, like, he posted a selfie of him and, like...
What's his name? Well, don't, like, tell.
No, I don't want to say his name.
I know, but what's his fake name? His code name?
Okay, so you know Bones, right?
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
So... everything was great. We had gone on like 2 or 3 dates. I can't remember. And he was very insecure, not very insecure, but like I had, like, he'd be like, oh, like, do you like me? You
had to, like, reassure him.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, like, I would still be talking to you if I didn't.
Yeah.
And we had the same interests and shit. So we already had, like, a date planned, and this was on the night of Friendsgiving.
Okay.
And I was, like, looking on Snap in that morning. Like, I didn't even look at it because it was, like, when you could see in the little circle.
Yeah. That's the best stalker move in the world.
Yeah.
Thank you, Snapchat, for, like, letting us see the snap, like, a little bit. And you're like, I don't need to watch that.
Right.
I can fucking see what it is now.
And it was a selfie of him and this girl who was only wearing, like, a bralette.
Ew.
Yeah, and I was very pissed. Very pissed. I can't even, like, explain how mad I was because he was also texting me.
Ew.
And it's like, are you fucking serious right now?
And why would he put that on his Snapchat?
I don't know. And so I did call him out on it.
Oh, you did?
I did.
What did he say?
He never replied. He did open it.
Fuck him.
Yeah, I called him out on it because when we talked and stuff, like, we were getting to know each other, he had mentioned, like, which I probably was a fucking red flag. But damn, there's a lot of red flags with the guys I meet that I don't see them till, like, man, that was a red flag.
Yeah, like, afterwards thinking about it, you're like, probably not again.
Yeah. He would, like, talking about his ex and how she was just very, like, loose.
Oh.
And so I was very annoyed.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I commented on the snap. And I don't remember what I said, but I do remember calling him out on it, and he did open it and read it.
Fuck him.
I literally, like, very, like, you don't fucking do that.
No. So, anyways, we know how it feels to just be, like, fucking rejected. We're not saying that we're saints. I've fucked up and rejected many guys and ghosted guys in the wrong way. Mm-hmm. So, for those of you, if you're listening, I sincerely apologize if I have hurt your feelings.
Yeah. I've dated too many guys. I've dated too many guys to even remember, honestly. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm new to the dating game, so I've done it to, like, maybe 2 guys.
This is maybe, like, my 5th rodeo.
Well, there you go.
But, yeah.
And, okay, so there was this one guy who... This was my first Hinge date.
Oh, guy. Yeah.
A little... I mean... I don't know. He was very sweet. But I was just like, you know, it's my first Hinge date, so it's not like we're going to get married. Like, there's like a billion fish in the sea.
Yeah.
And I'm right in the
cusp of it.
The cusp of it, exactly.
Yeah.
And I probably just should have broken his heart easily and said I'm not interested, but I just decided not to respond. And then circumstances in my life came up, and it just, like, made it easier to not respond, like, not to just, like, deal with that drama.
Yeah.
And I was just like, whatever. So, blah, blah, blah. I accept my wrongdoings in the dating world. I'll try to be better about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on.
I was going to say, I was like, it's not an excuse, but I feel like guys usually get the hint, like, faster than girls do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And most guys.
It actually shocks me when guys get their feelings hurt when a girl ghosts them, because
they fucking do it all
they
the time.
do it all the time. And then when a girl is like, he ghosted me, and they start acting crazy, and they're like, oh my god, that bitch is crazy, blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah, it's like
you're
a guy
playing a mind game with her.
Yeah, it's like a guy could literally, like, I'm surprised this guy hasn't, sushi chef guy.
Oh, yeah.
He'll literally, like, every, like, 1 or 2 months, he'll, like, pop back in my messages, like, hey, how are you doing? It's like, don't fucking mess with my mind like this. It's like, because if I were to do that, he'd be like, oh, this bitch is crazy.
Yeah.
But when he does that,
it's
I
like,
fucking message him back, which I shouldn't do.
You're like, oh, just saying hi. It's like, no, you shouldn't be saying hi.
Oh, long time no talk.
You know what Tam would say?
Really?
You know what Tam would say?
Don't reply.
Yeah. And you know what he would do? Reply again.
Will he?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I'll update you guys when he messages
That
me.
literally happened to PBR. Randomly, he messaged me on Snap and was like, oh, we should hang out, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, don't respond. And then, like, maybe 5 minutes later, he goes, I'll take that as a no. And it's like, yeah, good, you got that.
Because guys expect us to be, like, sitting and, like, pining over our phones. Like, oh, my God, like, why isn't he?
Yeah, like, we're not living our life and being single ladies and having a good time.
That's another thing the rules say, guys. Make yourself busy. Because when you're busy, the less you think.
Right.
So.
Okay, but let's move on.
Yeah.
We're going, like, off a beaten path.
Yes, we are.
Like, we could literally talk about the fucking rules, and we
and
probably will.
And everything.
We probably will.
I could
have an
literally
episode
sit
on
for
the
like
rules.
2 hours and talk about my dating.
Yeah, but we're
not, because that's not what we're here for tonight.
We're here about respecting yourself.
Yes.
So basically what we've said for the past, like, 20 minutes is that we have not been respecting ourselves, but we want you to respect yourself.
Learn from our mistakes.
Know what you want. Be comfortable with what you're doing. Learn how to speak up. That's really the mantra of what we're, like, saying.
Yeah.
And then also,
don't feel bad.
Don't feel bad about what you feel. Like, that's just what you
feel.
feel.
Those are your feelings, yeah.